This is Simplifying Expressions, EE1, Standards Mastery Review, and we're looking at 6 through 10. And number 6 says we want to factor the following expressions. So that means we're going to take out the greatest common factor. We're going to start by looking at the numbers and look to see what 32 and 36 have in common. They're both even, so they have a factor of 2 they share in common, but is there something larger? Because 32 times 2 would be 16, and 2 times 18 would be 36. And because 16 and 18 both are even, that means we could factor out another 2, which would give us 4 times 8 and 4 times 9. So we're actually going to factor out a 4, and because this is negative, we're actually going to factor out a negative 4. And I'm going to set up a little box here to help us kind of visualize what we're doing. So we're factoring a negative 4, and inside this first box we have negative 32a squared. In the second box we have 36a. Now I see that these both have an a in common, so I'm also going to factor out that a. So my greatest common factor is actually negative 4 times a. With that being said, I'm now going to figure out what goes here to give me a product of 36a. So negative 4 times what is 36a? Well, that would be negative 9. That one wasn't too bad. This one may be a little trickier because I have a squared. Remember that a squared means a times itself. So a squared is equal to a times a. I already have one of the a's. I need another a here. And then negative 4 times what is 32? Well, that would be positive 8. So when this is all said and done, it's going to look like this. Negative 4a, outside the parentheses, that's my greatest common factor, 8a plus 9 inside parentheses. Oops, that should be subtract 9. And yes, it makes a difference. Okay. Number 7, I guess. We're doing the same thing, but we have to first find the greatest common factor. And in this case, we have 3 terms instead of 2. So I'm just going to divide my box into 3 blocks. And 24, 36, and 72 all have 2 in common. They also have 4. They do not have 8, but they have 6. So if they have 2 and 6, that means 12 would be my greatest common factor. And since they're all negative, I'm once again going to factor out a negative 12. They do not share a common variable, so I'm not going to factor out a variable for this one. So what times negative 12 is negative 24x? That would be 2x. 2x times negative 12 would be negative 24x. Positive 3 times negative 12 would be negative 36, and I'm going to let you figure this one out. What times negative 12 would give you negative 72p? When you have that all done, you're going to put the negative 12 outside the parentheses, and then put in the rest of your terms, plus your unknown thing here you're going to figure out and close that parentheses. Number 8, Johnny has 8x minus 9, or subtract 9 pairs of sneakers, and David has 6x plus 4 pairs of sneakers. How many more pairs of sneakers does Johnny have than David? So we want to take Johnny's set of sneakers, 8x subtract 9, and subtract from that what David has, which is 6x plus 4. Now remember, when this negative is out in front of the parentheses, that means I'm multiplying everything inside by negative 1. And we understand it to be here. It's not written, but we understand it to be there. So 8x, negative 9, and then negative 1 times 6x, and negative 1 times 4. Simplify that and combine like terms, and you will figure out how many more sneakers Johnny has. Number 9, the perimeter of a triangle is 36x subtract 6. If the measurement of one side length is 15x plus 10, and the measurement of the second side length is 8x subtract 4, what's the measurement of the third? So I'm going to start with the first 2 side lengths, 15x and 10, and 8x and 4, and I want to get the sum of those. So that would be, combining like terms, 23x and positive 6. But I need 36x subtract 6. So essentially what I'm going to do is take 36x subtract 6, and I'm going to subtract this whole thing from it. 23x subtract 6. And just like in the previous problem, we understand there to be a negative 1 there. So you would multiply everything inside the parentheses by negative 1. And once you simplify that, you will get the measurement of the third side length. You can also check that, because whatever you get for this third side length here, along with this, should equal 36x subtract 6. Number 10, Sarah made, oops, sorry, my hand's in there. Sarah made 2x subtract 8 money in November, and 12x plus 20 in December. We really don't need the parentheses for this because there's no negatives in front of any of the parentheses, so it's just combining like terms. So if you have questions, chat with me. We'll talk to you later. Bye.